I am here to tell you that your life circumstances do not define you. Your life circumstances do not have to rob you of your joy. Your experiences do not have to determine whether or not you live your best life. Let me tell you why. Freedom is our greatest asset, and it is an asset that we earn. It is not something that you just have. Now, let's just talk about freedom for a minute. What is freedom? What is real, true freedom? We live in the United States, in a free country, and that is a gift, and that is a blessing. Why? Why is freedom, and what is it? Are we really, truly free? Is freedom simply just the ability to make choices? Is that really what freedom is? I would say that it's not, because real, true freedom, if it was just simply about the ability and the opportunity to make choices, well, if you choose to go and murder someone, you are no longer a free person. So are you truly free? Does that truly define freedom, the ability to make choices? No, it doesn't, because quickly the law will put you in prison for a choice that you've made to steal or to rob a bank or to commit a heinous crime. You are no longer a free person. So let me pose the question, what is freedom and why is it so important? Freedom is so important, and we recognize that it's important because every time we go to the zoo, we have that feeling inside when we see the lion behind the cage, when we see the lion behind the bars. Internally, we know that that lion deserves to be in the wild. We internally know that that lion is not living its best life. Yet, we do this to ourselves all the time. We stay imprisoned in our life circumstances, in our triggers, in our traumas, in unhealthy relationships, in abusive marriages, in poverty because of our financial beliefs, to being imprisoned from people pleasing and codependence and allowing ourselves to be manipulated, all the way to unfulfilling careers and even chronic pain. These are all personal prisons that we subscribe to. These are personal prisons that we lock ourselves up in, and we get to a point where we just accept it. And we just accept that it's okay to be locked up, even though internally and intuitively we know that we deserve better, that we deserve to be uncaged, that we deserve to have a higher lifestyle. Yet we don't unlock those chains that bind us up. We don't unlock those chains to disallow somebody to control us. We don't unlock those prisons to get us out of the unhealthy body that we are a slave to because we can't shed the weight. We stay captive to our finances because we are in debt and we have to answer to other people, and we cannot get on our feet, and we cannot get ahead, and yet we stay there. We just stay like we are powerless animals locked up. But we aren't. You guys, there are keys to freedom. There are keys for you to unlock that lion within. We all feel for that lion in the zoo. But what we don't realize is that we are the lion. We are the lion. We are the animal that is locked up that needs to be let out. And so freedom is our divine state. It is the way God intended us to live. We are made in the image of God. We are created to be like Him. And God is not controlled. God is not told. God is not captive. He is His own personal agent. He does as He needs. He does as He pleases. He is Him. He is unlocked. He has all the power that He needs. And yet we go along in life feeling powerless. Yet we're created in the image of God. And if we were created in the image of God, wouldn't that mean that we should then also have a huge amount of power to create the life that we love? Yes. Yet we don't, and we're locked, and we're stuck. We know that we all deserve freedom. We know it intuitively. That is why it is abhorrent to watch or to read articles about sex slavery. It's why we went to war to free our beautiful and amazing brothers and sisters from Africa America who are Black. It is why we fight in war, is to maintain that freedom. We sacrifice so much nationally as a nation. We sacrifice so much to maintain freedom. Yet, what are we sacrificing to maintain our own personal freedom? We are locked up in our personal prisons. So, I am going to tell you that there are keys. There are so many keys, and I have found them. And these are keys that, having applied them to my life for the last 13 years, they have unlocked a life that I love to live. They have unlocked healing powers. They have unlocked the ability to drive down the road and hear an ambulance come down the road behind me. I used to be locked up every time I would hear that ambulance. I would freak out. I would panic. I would think, oh, this is the worst day in that person's life. Because that was the worst day in my life. And so, bam, I get triggered from a trauma that happened almost 14 years ago. And now I am imprisoned to my past. I am no longer my own free agent because I am scared to drive down the road in fear that I'm going to be triggered from an ambulance. Oh, I can't drive down that street because that's where the fire station is. Oh, hurry, plug my ears. I hear a siren. That must mean somebody's dying. I was imprisoned. And I realized I couldn't live my life imprisoned to my circumstances. I could not live my life avoiding movies where people die from falling off of buildings. My son died from falling out of a window. And every time I would watch a dumb movie and they'd have a fight scene and somebody would get thrown out of a window, guess what would happen? I'm no longer free because that trigger is holding me. It is chaining me up. Emotionally, I am wrapped around that event. And I am now captive to my son's death. That is not a way I want to live. I do not want to walk around in my life avoiding streets and people and movies because I am afraid that it's going to remind me of something that happened to me in my past. So I've got a lot of keys to freedom. And I'm just going to tell you right now, push subscribe, because this is a road you don't want to miss. If you are locked up in your own personal prisons, it could be anything. Past traumas, tragedies, trials, adversity, things that you did not deserve. If you are stuck in abusive relationships, if you are weighed down by your body, if you are suffering chronic pain, if you feel the depression of debt and the depth and the heaviness of having to answer to someone else, you guys push subscribe. We will be going through each one of these in depth. How to free yourself. So I talked at the beginning, what really is freedom? Is freedom really just the ability to choose? No, it's not. Because if freedom was really just the ability to choose, then you could do whatever you wanted and it would not put you in prison. Real, true freedom is an asset, and it is something that you earn, and it is something that is added upon. Real, true freedom is the ability to make a choice that results in more freedom. Do you get that? Freedom is the ability to choose a choice that results in more freedom. And as you choose more freedom, as you make a good choice that results in more freedom, you now make a new choice and it results in more freedom. And it is a spiral up to your best life. Now, when we make choices that create less freedom, it is a spiral down. So let me demonstrate this. Let me demonstrate this for somebody that needs to lose weight or wants to lose weight, has a desire, okay? You are imprisoned to your body. You are imprisoned to the weight. You cannot run and play with your toddler at the park because your knees hurt and because your back hurts and because you don't feel confident. You are imprisoned to your body and to that weight. Now, if you make the choice to eat a salad, that then gives you a little bit of freedom to release some weight. If you choose the salad over the donut, you've now made a choice that results in more freedom because you've released a pound. And as you release a pound, you can make another choice to release another pound. And as you release that pound, you can make another choice that releases another pound. And it builds like this, right? It's 1 pound at a time. You don't become free of weight overnight. You cannot go to bed and wake up free from the pains in your knees. You cannot go to bed and wake up in the morning free from the weight that you carry. It is choice, and it is built upon, and it is an asset. And as you make one choice that creates freedom, it gives you the ability to make a new choice that creates more freedom. And with enough choices that build that freedom, you will eventually find yourself at a point where you can run. And now your body is free to play, to wrestle, to tickle, to chase after, to play uninhibited from the body that once held you down, that once held you captive. Now, on the reverse is if you decide, I'm going to eat this donut, that is going to lead you then to more weight. And that's going to take away more freedom because now your knees are going to hurt more. And then you're like, well, I'm going to eat this hamburger and fries and milkshake, and it takes you down another pound and it creates less freedom. And so it's a spiral up or it's a spiral down. And so freedom, let me just reemphasize this, freedom is the ability to choose a choice that will create more freedom. Okay? True freedom is making a choice that will result in more freedom. You choose to murder somebody, that doesn't result in more freedom, that results in less freedom. You make a choice to eat a salad, that creates more freedom from the weight. You choose to no longer be manipulatable, that is now a step closer to not being controlled by a controlling husband or wife. Do you get what I'm saying here? That freedom is one choice at a time, one layer at a time as you ascend up the ladder. Freedom is an asset, and it is something that we earn, and it is something that we hold, and it is not something that we give lightly. And you guys, freedom, when you really want to create freedom in your life, it's super simple. You ask yourself one question and that's it. You look at what is in front of you and you say, is this creating more freedom in my life? And if the answer is yes, then go forward and continue. And if the answer is no, then pivot and look for the answer that is yes. If you are sitting there with two choices and you really truly desire in your heart to be out of debt, and you're sitting there on your phone and you're looking at that pair of pants that you want to buy and they're on sale and they're normally $120, but today they're on sale for only $39.99. You could get a deal. They're only $40 and they're normally $120. And you have a choice and you look at it and you say, but I could buy these pants and they're on sale. Or I could just not buy a new pair of pants. I've got 12 others in my drawer. But I really want these pants. But I really don't need them. And you look at your choices and you say, is spending this $39.99 on these pair of pants, is that going to get me closer to financial freedom? Or is it going to get me further away? And you make your choices based off of whether or not it will create more freedom for you in the specific area of your life that you want to change. Now, you look at your bank account and you say, gee, I've got $500 in my bank account. And I could use that $500 and spend it on some ads. And that $500 could maybe result in $5,000 more dollars. Would that be a step closer to getting out of debt? So I'm not saying not to spend money if you're in debt. I'm not saying that if you are trying to achieve financial freedom from debt, that you should never spend money. That's not the answer. The answer is asking yourself, will this choice create more freedom towards the goal, towards unlocking the prison that is holding me captive and holding me down right now? Is this choice going to get me closer to unlocking that cage? Spending $39.99 on a new pair of pants that you don't need, well, that's not going to create more freedom. But spending $500 on ads that will result in more business, that's a step closer. Even if you just took the $39.99 that you were going to spend on the pants and apply it to an ad, now that is a choice that you can make. And you realize that when you make that choice, you are holding the key. You are holding the key, and slowly you are turning that key and you are emerging from that prison that is locking you up. It is as simple as that, my friends. That to find your own freedom, it is as simple as asking yourself, will this choice right now in front of me, in this very moment, result in more freedom? And if the answer is yes, then make that choice. And if the answer is no, pivot and make a new choice. That's it. It's all about the choices that we make every single day. It's about making one small choice every single day, day after day, until we finally find ourselves at the top. You guys, subscribe. Love ya. Bye.